my pleasure to be here at the beautiful Casa Feliz with Jeff Briggs, the principal planner with the Planning and Transportation Department. Jeff has been with the city for 44 years. Casa Feliz is on the National Registry of Historic Buildings. So fortunate to be here. Jeff, what do you as a principal planner do with the city?
The planning department of the city tries to accommodate all the growth and development applications that come to us, most of which have to go to the Planning and Zoning Board and the City Commission, and we coordinate that process, review, and try to make every project compatible with the city.
Jeff, in your role as planner, do you have any other responsibilities?
So my new assignment that I took on about 3 years ago, I guess because since I've been here 44 years and they thought that I was historic, that they would assign to me the Historic Preservation Program, which has been quite fun to take on as a new responsibility.
Jeff, I understand that this is the 20th anniversary of the Historic Preservation Board. Could you tell me how it began, a little bit about it?
Yeah, the city established our Historic Preservation Program in 2001, so this is our 20th anniversary, and we have quite a few accomplishments over that 20 years. We have designated about 100 individual homes and buildings, meaning that that architectural history will be forever preserved. The city has also created 2 local historic districts, the College Place District, or actually College Quarter District, over there by Rollins College and Holt Avenue. There are about 300 properties in that neighborhood, as well as another historic district at Virginia Heights, which is Glencoe, Highland Road area, that has about 30 homes in it. So those were situations where the neighbors voted to create the district. They chose preservation because they wanted to keep their neighborhood looking the way it has over the many years. And then lastly, the other really big accomplishment on behalf of the whole city is that we have created 2 National Register districts.
And what are those, Jeff?
So the Park Avenue area, as well as the Interlochen Avenue area, are on the National Register of Historic Places. So there is no bigger honor than to have part of your city on that National Register, have a National Register district, because that's a recognition from the federal government, from the U.S. Park Service, that we have something special. Now we know that, but now everyone in the country knows that by virtue of the designation.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff, first I'm going to ask you, how did the Historic Preservation Board come to be formed 20 years ago?
It really was a bottom-up, meaning residents, voters up initiative who asked the City Commission to do something to preserve our architectural history, to preserve our older buildings. And it started primarily in the College Place neighborhood, spread to other areas, so that we, like many other cities, like Orlando, for example, could take steps to again preserve our heritage. And it's surprising how many homeowners, they love their homes, yes, but they love their homes so much that they don't want the next owner to tear it down. They want it to be preserved, and they volunteer, because it's a voluntary program, in order to preserve the heritage of their home.
So what would a resident have to do in order to get their homes declared historic?
Well, it couldn't be easier, because all they have to do is sign a form that says, I'm interested. And if they truly have a qualified historic home, which most do, or they wouldn't be inquiring in the first place, then we simply take that application to the Historic Preservation Board for a recommendation. And from there, we go on to the City Commission to formally adopt a resolution. And in that manner, they join the program and are eligible for the recognition, the plaque on the house, and also any of the other incentives that we offer through the program.
What are a few of those incentives, Jeff?
Well, many times these older homes are built to old codes or when there was no zoning codes. So they might have a house closer to a property line than we'd allow today. They want to do an addition. The Historic Preservation Board can grant a variance in recognition of the age and nonconformity that exists. We also have a grant program that Communications is helping publicize for us. That is a matching grant. You spend $50,000, we reimburse up to half of that, $25,000, for things done to the exterior of the home to preserve the exterior appearance of the home.
So how old does a house have to be? 50 years old or more to be considered? Or is it more than that?
No, technically 50 years, but most of the homes that we get tend to be from the 1920s, 30s, or 40s, and a few way back in the 1800s.
Wow, thank you. Jeff, one last question. Can you explain the new Certified Local Government Program this commission just voted on?
Yes, just this year, the City Commission decided to apply for another recognition, which is the recognition of our 20 years of having historic preservation by joining this group called the Certified Local Government Program, which is basically an accreditation that you have the kind of historic preservation program that fulfills all the requirements and is on par with the others that exist across the nation. It's a designation, again, by the U.S. Park Service, and so it will be an honor, and I fully expect when they accept our application.
Thank you. And Jeff, thank you so much for taking the time, and will you please sit down for another interview so that we can talk about the other part of your job, which I'm sure everyone would like to know as to how developments get approved in Winter Park.
Okay, I'd love to. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.